Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be talking about some different time management skills that you can use on your computer or on your phone. So the first one we're going to highlight is Google Calendar. So right now I'm going to be doing this on my computer, but you could do this on your phone, download the app, and do all the same things on there. So the first thing I do when I start a new Google Calendar is I'm going to go to Settings, and I'm going to add my different calendars that I want. Within Google Calendar, you can add multiple parts. It's basically like tabs, but they're called calendars. So I'm going to add I already have one for work and for birthdays, so I'm going to add one for WKU events, so that way I can put on there different events, like if I want to go to football games or if I have this or that. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to add one of my classes, so we'll add my SSS-D class. We're going to pretend that we have one of those. So we'll create that calendar. It takes a few seconds. We're going to add an SAA class. We're going to just go through and add all of our different classes, and we'll color code them in a second, but for now we just have to get them in. So let's pretend that I'm going to take these 3 classes this semester. Okay, so all of those are done. So now we're going to go and school. Let's pretend that school starts this week. So I'm going to click, my first class is at 8 a.m. on Monday, so I'm just going to hover over there and I'm going to click. So now it's going to say add title, so I'm just going to say that I have WKU class. And we're going to go here. We're going to edit the time. So it's going to say 8 a.m. And on Mondays, they're 55 minutes, so that class will be over at 8:55 a.m. Now, because I have this class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, instead of making multiple different ones, I'm going to go in, I'm going to click here, and then we're under Does Not Repeat, and we're going to do Custom. We're going to do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Can do repeat for every week, and then I usually like to end mine around Christmas break just so that way it makes it a little bit easier. So we'll say we'll just say December, I think the last day of class is like the 5th, so we'll say the 15th just to give us some extra time. And then we'll go in here and we'll add it to our calendar right here. So this way, now we have it pop up. Now, what I like to do is I like to go and color code mine, and so you can change the colors. So like if I want my WKU class to be a red color, that's more of a purple, but you guys get it. So I can add that one, and that can be red. And then if we want to do, because my SSS-D class is on the same day, if I want them to be completely different colors, I'll make that one green. So now let's go ahead and add the SSS-D class. It's going to be from SSS-D class. I think it's 9:10. So say it's 9:10 a.m. And then that's going to be over at 10:05 a.m. So now we're going to go ahead and have it repeat again. Now this class I only have on Monday and Wednesdays. So I'm going to go to Custom. I'm going to do Monday and Wednesday. And then we're going to do this again. And we'll just still go with that December 15th date. And then that way it's going to repeat every week. And then we're going to make sure that we change that to SSS-D so it changes the color. And then as you can see, it pops up there. And then you can continue to do the same for all of your classes. So then when you look at it, let's see, we'll show it for a month. It'll pop up with all the different ones. And here I have where I have the holidays, but we can also turn that off if we wanted to. Move that right there. So now I don't see the holidays anymore. So now all I can see are my classes. So now I need to add in my work schedule so that way I know exactly when I'm busy. So I'm going to go back to that week just to make it a little bit easier on us. And I work on Mondays from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So we're going to go in there and we're going to say 12 p.m. and we're going to say that I go till 4 p.m. And then we're going to, again, change that down here. Now, I don't work every Monday, so I'm going to do where I'm going to say it's weekly on Monday because I don't do every Monday. But because I'm not working next Monday, I'm just going to switch to my next week. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to click Delete. And we're going to say only this event because we don't want to delete the rest of them. And now you can go through and you can edit it the same way. And then you can change it just so that way it looks however you want it to. The settings, you can go into the accessibility and change it however you want it to look and add calendars, take some away, whatever works easiest for you. And then another really cool thing with Google Calendar is you can go in and you can add tasks. So I usually will add my tasks as homework so that way I know when assignments are due. So let's see, what's the task I have? For my time management TikTok assignment, I don't know if that's how you spell management. My time management TikTok assignment, we're going to have it due on June 5th. So today we're going to have it due at 4:30 p.m. And then I'm going to go in here. It's going to be under tasks. And then I'm going to leave it as does not repeat. I can add a little description in there if I want, but I don't have to. And then I can save it. And so then I can see when it's due. And if you want, then you can also, so right now the tasks will look like this. If you want, you don't have to add it that way. You can add it as an assignment and put it into where it's going to look like this and just make it a little bit smaller. But I usually personally prefer to put mine as time management. Or if you want to have it up at the top, we can put it as all day. Oh, 1 second. Let's try that again. I'm going to change that. So then that puts it up at the top for us. And that's not supposed to be there. So that way I can look on my Google Calendar and I can say, oh, okay, then I know that I have this assignment due today. And typically assignments are going to be due at 11:59. So just that way you know what's due that day and everything. But if you have any questions or if you need any help with your Google Calendar, feel free to stop by the SSS-D office and we would be more than glad to help you out.